What's up, everyone? Castaway Cards here, and I'd like to welcome you to the Lost Files of Zeles TCG Project DTAS. Project Don't Tell a Soul. So I don't know if you've seen Zeles' most recent video, Project DTAS. Highly recommend you go watch that. It is a fantastic video, and shout out to Zeles because he is both a great content creator, a great seller, and all around good dude. So he released a video, Project DTAS, and I think he was striving to bring the community together, which is a big important piece of what MetaZoo is. It's a huge part of its identity is its community. So even though I wasn't invited by Zeles, and certainly no slight from it, I wanted to jump in. So we'll quickly answer question number one. Who decided to participate in Project DTAS? Well, I did. I decided to participate in Project DTAS. And we'll move on to number two. So, how long have I been collecting MetaZoo? So, I started collecting MetaZoo in December of 2022. And I very vividly recall my very first purchase. I bought a Nightfall spell book, Don't Hate Me Menace, and one of each of the Nightfall theme decks in a bundle, and like shipping and taxes and everything came out to like $45. And this was December of 22. It's a pretty solid deal, not gonna lie. And I remember back then I felt like I had gotten a steal, even though I had no idea what MetaZoo was. I started getting into it because of Rudy, watching alpha investment videos and stuff. And, occasionally, obviously, he's mostly Magic, Pokemon, stuff like that. Nice. And occasionally he would talk about this MetaZoo thing. I didn't really know what it was. Decided to check it out, and led me to other MetaZoo content creators. Mostly back then, though, they were all talking about like investing, which maybe it's because of Rudy in that regard, but like frankly collecting, who I blame him for more problems than I do Rudy personally. But Sasquatch, man, I feel like I pull at every box. So I started watching content for various MetaZoo content creators back then, and started getting into it. And I went kind of hard right off the bat, and bet. So started buying into it. Started initially like holding sealed product, because I was kind of at that point kind of on the fence about like investing / versus collecting versus like selling. So I do run like a TCG Player store and an eBay store, so feel free to let me know if you want to know what that is. I will provide that information to you. But I started collecting, for lack of a better term, the sealed product. Of course, I was opening product because I wanted to get master sets, because that's what I do for most TCGs. I collect master sets. So that was almost 2.5 years ago. So my top 3 favorite cryptids. Zeles, bro, that's a great question, and it's a hard question. My question to you is, are we talking about art, or are we talking about lore? Because I feel that they're two completely different things. For example, my favorite old zoo art card cryptid is Pomola or whatever it's called, from UFO, I think. And it's just so sleek. That card looks so good. And that's like the only reason is just how like good it looks and feels holding it. Smooth card. But top 3 favorite cryptids. So I'll answer both, I think. So for lore, I would say number 1, Indrid Cold. He is my favorite by far. Probably for both lore and art. I feel like there's so much that could be done with his art. And I'm anyway, we'll get to that in a little bit. But so yeah, Indrid Cold for lore. Indrid Cold. I don't know. That's awesome. What a solid pull. Sorry. So, Indrid Cold, Sun Wukong, and probably Explosive Rabbit. I really like the Explosive Rabbit. And then for art, we've got Indrid Cold, number 1. Pomola, and what is another card that's fire? You know what? Probably fucking Explosive Rabbit. That's a dope card. Looks so good. So, which cryptids would I love to see return to MetaZoo? So, the people you asked, Zeles, again, great question. The people that you asked, they had fantastic responses. I am going to piggyback some of them. So, Sewer Alligator, for sure, has to come back. I would find that to be a travesty if it did not. And then Indrid Cold. I would love to see Indrid Cold come back. I really like the dark theme stuff. And I'm not saying that I want MetaZoo 2.0, Meta 2 to do all that stuff. Because I think that at some point, like, it really kind of deterred or could deter people from buying it. For example, Old Zoo, one of my favorite art for cards, like hands down, is Black Mass. I love it. I bought some of the skateboards from Quote of the Black Mass because I love the art. It just looks so good. But it's pretty fucking dark. And, you know, I recognize that in a trading card game, it's really challenging to have those kind of themes and like make it mainstream, you know? So I think they can do it to a lesser extent in New Zoo, and I think it'll be okay. But if they do it too much, like Old Zoo did, I think it would be bad. But I think that all said, Indrid Cold, and Sewer Alligator are probably my number 2, my 2 most that I'd like to see return soon. Obviously, you have things like Loveland Frogman, Squonk. I would love to have them both return. I think it was Mothawk who said wanted a textured 3-star Squonk, and I'd be about that. I would be about that 100%. So I also hope that happens. So, when MetaZoo closed down, how did I feel? Zeles, you're just fucking popping out banger questions. I was a little surprised. I wasn't here from the beginning, you know, like I said, December 22. I popped in, like, I think that was, like, right after Seance dropped. Or maybe right before Seance dropped. I distinctly... Nice. I distinctly recall Seance, being big, the big thing to talk about, because it was mappable and all that stuff. And it was one of the first boxes I opened, was a Seance box. And yeah, I didn't pull anything out of it. Not that I knew what I was pulling to begin with, but, I was surprised because I didn't realize behind the scenes, like, how bad things were. I didn't realize that people were, not getting things they were ordering. I had ordered a couple things off of the website and had no issues getting them. But, I mean, I'm not spending hundreds of thousands of dollars buying, like the streamer kits and stuff. And, all the other crap that people were not eventually getting, the revive boards and all that. So I was just a little surprised. And then, unrelated segue, like 3 months later, another TCG that I was big into collecting, Akora TCG, they went under and shut down. And I was like, fuck, man, that's two TCGs that I'm into this year alone gone. And at that point, I was like really kind of worried about the market of TCGs. Magic was kind of struggling and stuff too. So I was like, well, what the fuck's going on? That said, though, that's when I went in heavy on the buying. I bought a lot of stuff, a lot of lots off of eBay. People were getting rid of their shit. And specifically, I remember I got it's mostly native stuff. And it was, I paid $800 for it. And it was just tons of booster boxes, spell books, the release deck things, and a bunch of other like spoiler booster packs and all this other stuff. And even though I don't like native, set native very much, I was like, well, this is a steal. Because even then, I knew that the set was short printed. So I filled out my sealed collection, because I do collect sealed product for Old Zoo. I like to have one of every thing, which there's tons I'm missing because they put out way too much shit. But I rounded out my sealed collection for native, and I sold off everything else. And I made, if I didn't make all of my money back, I made most of it back after the fact. I mean, much after the fact. Because now native is skyrocketing up. It's fucking great. Damn. I lost like 3 in a row. That's wild. So yeah, man, mostly I felt surprised. It was a train wreck to watch. And that was kind of exciting because there was, at that point in time, there wasn't a lot of content on MetaZoo coming out at all. And then, like, January 29th, like, just fucking video after video after video. It was intense. So much content. And I was eating it up. I loved it. I was watching all the videos. And it was great. It was like the community was alive again, even though the game was dead. So who do I rip packs with? Well, usually just by myself. I always get fucking reverse love lines. Usually by myself. Sometimes my dog will accompany me. Right now she's laying on the couch like a lazy bum. Occasionally my kids or my wife will be in the room, but my wife thinks it's nerd shit, and my kids, they like to watch sometimes, but not really that into it. So mostly by myself. But I'm in the military, so I'm away from home. If I was back home, I might be ripping with friends. Certainly a higher chance. So, I believe next you asked who plays MetaZoo and or like who wants to learn MetaZoo. Zeles, again, banger question. So I have not played old MetaZoo, and again, that's because I am in the military. I'm away from home, and while I do have one LGS right down the street from where I currently live. They don't have anything to do with MetaZoo, and I approached the owner and like tried to see if he was interested. He wasn't. This was all old zoo, of course, not the new zoo. So he wasn't interested, and that was that. Like nobody in the area seems to care for it. Though I'm trying to get them into the new zoo. So I have not played the old game, but I do have decks. I have I think three decks, just sitting in boxes waiting to be played. Nice. Why does that look weird though? I love Sewer Alligator. He needs to come back. Pizza and all. So New Zoo, yes, I do want to play New Zoo, and I don't only want to play it. I want to play it competitively, so I want to help grow a competitive scene. I think that that's going to be very important to the game, and I've been pretty vocal about it on Discord and stuff. So fingers crossed that the competitive scene will pick up and, grow over time. But I do want to learn how to play the new game. Starting to theory craft decks and stuff. I'm all in on air, 100%. If you don't want your air cards, please send them to me. I will have them all. I'm like, not only am I using them to play, to build decks, theory craft, and all that stuff, I am speculating on them. That's how far into air I am. 100% team air. So my favorite set so far? Zeles, good question. So base set, honestly, I am all about new zoo over old zoo. 100%. That said, I do recognize that a lot of MetaZoo fans prefer and or are really attached to the old zoo. I like the old zoo, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking shit about it, but I just prefer the new zoo, and I'd like to see this grow over the old, hanging on to the past. That said, I do like a lot of the old zoo sets. Nightfall is probably going to be number one for me. Just because, again, like I said before, I really like the dark thematics. It was the set that originally brought me into zoo to begin with. And I just have a lot of fondness for that set. I really like the artwork for that set. Next, I would say like in order. So yeah, base set, Nightfall, probably Seance, Wilderness, UFO, and then like the CN1, CN2, and then Native. Native is last. I know that's going to be like a fucking hot take. I get it. I just don't really care for the set. I don't like a lot of the artwork for it. It's not my thing. And then the CN sets, I don't know, like they're good and all, but obviously I'm ripping one of them right now, but I don't know. It's just like, yeah, I keep getting shit like this. It's not a fun rep. It really isn't. Really the only pack out of this entire box worth ripping is this one, and I guarantee you I'm not going to get a blue ink. So, you know, it's a time waster set. But Nightfall's a lot of fun. Base set's a lot of fun. Wilderness is a lot of fun. Seance can be fun. Depends on how lucky you are. You either get a box that doesn't have anything or a box that's like totally fucking juiced. Alright, so what is MetaZoo to you? Zeles, again, with the fucking fire questions. So, oh, that's so fucking awesome. Look at that. I actually don't care if they bring back the old characters like Samson, Claire, Rose, Robinson, yada, yada, yada. It doesn't matter to me if they do or not. But this card was the last card I needed for the master set, other than the box toppers, of course, because I still need the blue ink. But it was such a bitch trying to get that card, so that's a nice hit. So what is MetaZoo to me? So again, Zeles, banger question. First and foremost, it's a game, and that's what I think it needs to be treated like. And it needs to be fostered and grown, expanded. Somebody bought like 16 of these from me the other day. All of the ones I had. So maybe they'll buy that one too. You know, MetaZoo is the community, because MetaZoo and cryptids are humanity in a sense. You know, they're man-made, if you choose to not believe in them. Man-made figments of our imagination. So a societal concept that we all, you know, are familiar with. You have your Bigfoots, you have your Mothmans, you have your Chupacabras. Like, these are not like one-offs. Like, the majority of people know who these are. They may not know all of them, but, you know, in West Virginia, most people probably know who Mothman is. In the Pacific Northwest, most people probably know who Bigfoot is. So it's a community, and it's a game. And those are two wonderful things, because we get to bring people together, and we get to have a lot of fun, and we get to talk about just the lore, just everything about it is just so awesome. That's what brought me into it. What do you guys think of this? That's what brought me into MetaZoo. Was I was looking at the cards, right? And, you know, you see GPS Point Pleasant, West Virginia. And I was like, ooh, what is this? Like, Mothman's from West Virginia. Okay, let me look that up. And I started like looking into Mothman. Indrid Cold, I had no idea who the fuck that was. Started looking into it. I was like, this is really fucking interesting. So it was really cool to kind of be cultured in a way, to learn about other locations, other cultures, the boogeymen that haunt the minds of other locations. And that was one of the things that drew me in the most to MetaZoo. And one thing I'm glad that they're implementing on the new cards as well. Because, again, I think it's a big part of MetaZoo is the lore behind the cryptids, not the lore of the game. The lore of the game is a completely separate thing. The lore of the cryptids and the community. So, Zeles, I want to say thank you for Project DTAS. It was a fantastic video, and I appreciate you letting me create my own, because, I mean, you can't stop me, but you letting me create my own lost files of Project DTAS. So, again, thank you. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for bringing the community together. Thank you for being an awesome fucking dude. If this is blue ink, I will sign it and mail it to you. Oh, it never fucking is. Damn it. I don't need that one. I need number 7. All right, Zeles, everybody, thank you. I appreciate it. Keep doing what you're doing. MetaZoo, keep doing what you're doing. This is a great community. It's a great game. Let's fucking bring it home. 2025 is our year. Let's go.